Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we talking about tonight? Well, Rockstar is re-releasing Red Dead Redemption, the original Red Dead Redemption. It's coming to modern consoles. It's coming out on the Switch as well as the PlayStation. I want to say PlayStation 4, maybe PlayStation 5, but it doesn't really matter because you can play PlayStation 4 games on 5 anyway, so it's coming to one of the two. But basically, they're re-releasing it, and people were wondering and people were hoping that it would be a full remake, right? A whole remaster of Red Dead Redemption, but it doesn't seem to be that way. So unfortunately for fans out there, this would not be a remake or a remaster. It's just a straight up port of the 2010 original. So basically, it's the, I believe it's the Undead, it's basically the Game of the Year edition that came with Undead Nightmare, which was the DLC that came out around the time that the zombies in the West and stuff like that. So it's a 13-year-old game, right? So Red Dead Redemption came out 13 years ago, and they're going to be selling it for $50 on Switch and PlayStation. And, people are pretty unhappy with that fact, especially, you might be wondering, where's the Xbox version? Well, Xbox, they did all that backwards compatibility stuff a while back. And this game, with the Undead Nightmare expansion, is backwards compatible on the Xbox today, right? So you could go, if you already own a copy of it, you could go and pop it in your Xbox and play it right now. Or you can go out there to Amazon or wherever and buy a brand new copy of the Xbox 360 version of the Game of Year edition that comes with the Undead Nightmare for $30. It's the same game that's coming to PS4 and Switch, so you could do that. Plus, the nice thing about Xbox is they did that whole thing with their backwards compatible, where they did the FPS boost and the auto HDR and all that stuff to make the game look and run. Old games make them look and run better. So, it's a win-win on that point. And they could do the same with this on the Switch and the PS4, but unfortunately they're not. There's no multiplayer. So that part has been removed. Basically, there's no reskinning the textures or redoing anything. I mean, it's just a straight up port to modern consoles and charging $50 for it. And that's pretty much, it feels like highway robbery right there. So, some Redditors are saying, a $50 port for a 13-year-old game, no graphical enhancements, no FPS boost, no multiplayer. They could have ported this. They say, one Redditor says it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard to port Metal Gear Solid 4 because of the bad PS3 architecture. This is 100% the Xbox 360 version being ported for $50. And people want a proper remake or remaster and not a cash grab, right? And that's basically what this is. This is just a full-on cash grab. Now, this is coming out digitally on the 17th of August, so here pretty soon. It will have a physical release in October of October 13th. So they are going to do a physical release of it, but for right now, it's going to be a digital release of the game. But again, it's a 13-year-old game that they're just porting. They're not doing anything to it. I think, one thing Rockstar is bad about this. They did the same thing with Grand Theft Auto. Remember the Grand Theft Auto trilogy where they put out San Andreas, Vice City, and 3 out onto, and that was, it was hot garbage is what it was. All 3 of them were bad. It was bad ports of them. They tried to do some remastering. Those weren't just straight up ports. They tried to do some retexturing and refixing of things, and they made it just worse. The originals were better to play than these remasters, I should say, right? And this one, they just decided, you know what, we screwed up the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Let's not do that again. Let's just port this straight out of the box to a new console and charge $50 for it. No need to go through all the work and the rigmarole, because we're probably going to screw it up again. So let's just not screw things up and just re-release it and charge everybody $50 for it. It's ridiculous. But Pat, what do you think of Rockstar re-releasing this game for $50?
I need some of what they're smoking. I mean, let's just put it into perspective. As much as the trilogy was hot garbage, it was 3 games for $60, right? And they even did remastering. They gave third party to remaster or whatever, but the third party remaster was spit on a cloth and wipe it down a little bit, That was all they did to it. They polished that turd just a little bit, flicked off the little speck of dust bunnies that had settled on it. And then now you're going to get a single game for $50 that they're not even going to touch except for to port it over. And like Nick mentioned, Xbox players already have access to this, and that's why it's not coming to Xbox, just because of Xbox's backwards compatibility project and stuff like that. What'd you say it was? How much was it with I think I saw that the game by itself was only $30, so maybe 40 with the Nightmare Pack, I think.
I'll have to look it up again. It was 30 for the
okay. Because I saw not too long ago on their deal where you could buy the game for $30 by itself. But maybe that came with the Nightmare Pack. I don't know. I know there's a bunch of free add-ons.
Yeah, if you buy, so on Amazon right now, if you buy the Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year edition, that comes with the Undead Nightmare, and it's brand new, $30.
Yeah, I was just the digital version. You could buy the digital version right now. I think
yeah. I don't know how much
it's $30 for the digital version, and then $10 if you want the Nightmare. So if you don't want to buy it and wait for the disc, then whatever. But if you want to purchase digitally, it's only $40 on Xbox, $10 cheaper. But and like Nick said, you already get some of the enhancements they done to the game to make it work properly on the newer generation console. So, but I can hear it now, Nick. I can hear it. Can you not hear it? Sony fanboys, PlayStation exclusive. Red Dead Redemption, not coming on Xbox Series, I can hear it now. And then you're like, I can play it right now. The same version that you've got.
Right.
Just looks better and plays better.
I haven't looked, but you're probably right. I'm sure there is somebody or a group of people that have already said that. And it's like, okay.
This is a good strike for Microsoft to have. We've been railing on them a lot lately due to some bad practices, some bad things they've been doing. So this is something that's come into light of something they've been doing good. This is, and then it kind of shows you the backwards thinking of Rockstar when it's like, we're going to give you a single game, 13 years old for $50 when we just gave you a trilogy that was broken as all broken can get, which gave you 3 games for $60. So I don't know. And I imagine those games took way more money to port. Those 3 games took more money in development cost to port than a singular game did, right? I mean, gosh, come on, Vice City, San Andreas, GTA 3, those had to have cost a lot more in development costs to port 3 of those games than just this one. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not a developer, so I may be overlooking something, like maybe it's the same back-end code for all 3, but I doubt it very highly. There are 3 different games from 3 different time periods with 3 different developments behind them, but I don't know. So to me, it seems like the only way that Rockstar is going to get this through their thick skull is that if nobody buys these. I'm really thinking that the trilogy, their poor port of because those had some remastering to them, right? I mean, they had some polish to them. They weren't just ports. As bad a job as they did passing that off to a third party, and as bad as they did on QCing that and saying it's good to go, people aren't. I wouldn't imagine people are going to trust them to say, "Hey, I ported this. I didn't do anything else to it, but I just ported it. Have fun." How busted that's going to be, right? They've had time to. I don't know. Is Rockstar themselves doing the development work behind the porting of this game, or did they fence it off to a third party like they did the trilogy?
I don't know. They probably fenced it off to somebody to port it, I would imagine.
Yeah. So then it's going to be the same janky, busted crap when it comes out and be like, oh, it doesn't work right on these consoles. Something's missing. Which, yeah, Red Dead never came out on the Switch, did it? Not that I could think of.
No, I don't believe so.
So, it's new for them, but it's also a 13-year-old game, and it's going to look like a 13-year-old game. I don't know. Yay for Switch. PlayStation people are getting hosed, but the Switch is getting hosed too at $50 for this port. This port shouldn't be $50. It should be a $20 or $30 at most port, but I wouldn't even pay that. I mean, but that's just me. I still have it on Xbox because I'm pretty sure I bought it digitally. So, sucks. Rockstar is, they're going broke, guys. It's costing them billions to develop GTA 6. So they got to find some money somewhere. They're not making enough money on GTA Online and everything else. Rockstar's got their own Sarah McLachlan video out there, and in the eyes of an angel, you got to support them. The Rockstar developers are sitting in a corner eating salted crackers with ketchup on it, trying to get this game out the door. And they need your help now. You could sponsor one developer for 1 hour for your $50 donation to Red Dead Redemption port. They need your assistance now. Donate now is what this sounds like. This is a horrible cash grab. I won't be buying it, but I don't need to because I already have it on Xbox. I don't know about you, Nick. Are you going to buy this one, Nick?
No.
Is this going to be?
No. I think I have it on Xbox.
Yeah.
The original. So, I mean, if you have an Xbox, it's like, I understand if you don't have an Xbox, but if you have an Xbox Series console, just go buy it on Amazon or buy the digital version online if you really want to play it. But yeah, these ports over to the other consoles, they just don't seem, especially they don't have any multiplayer, right? I mean, if they had multiplayer on where you could play or just something to kind of modernize, and they don't need to completely redo it, but I mean, I don't know. I guess they kind of tried to do that with the Grand Theft Auto, and look how that went. So I wouldn't put as much care or thought and care into them actually doing something good with the if they tried to kind of remaster it a bit. But I mean, if you're not going to do anything with a port like this of a 13-year-old game, and it's not really, like you said, I wouldn't mind if they want to re-release it. That's fine. If it's priced at like $20 is what I'd say it's worth. $20. You re-release this on PlayStation 4 and the Switch for $20, people won't care. They'll be like, all right, cool. Right? There wouldn't be articles written and people commenting on how they're pissed off about it or anything. They might be pissed off that you're not remastering it, but they're not going to be pissed off. The main thing that they're pissed off at is the fact that you're charging me $50 to port a game over to these consoles and not do anything else with it. Right? You're not adding anything. Like, what is the $50 for? Like, what are you, how do you justify that $50 price tag? What are you doing? What are you doing to the game to justify that besides porting it? And from our understanding and what we've read and know about, they're not doing anything to it except for just porting it over. So yeah, that's where I'm like, nah, man, you're just a total cash grab. People like, Red Dead Redemption 1. I like Red Dead Redemption 1 more than I do 2. The number 2, Red Dead Redemption 2. I liked the world that Red Dead Redemption 2 was, like everything in it and all that stuff, but the story got really boring and really quickly, and I really loved the original Red Dead. And so, and that's just me personally. I wasn't a huge fan of Red Dead Redemption 2. But it is what it is. But people love the original Red Dead. I think a lot more people love it than the second one. I mean, I'm sure there's people that like the second one more than the first, but I think there's a lot more people that probably enjoy the first. So I think they're just kind of banking off people's nostalgia and love for that first game and hoping to make a quick buck off of it. So yeah, I mean, it's a complete and total cash grab is all they're doing here. Just like you said, need your money now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to find it difficult because all those games, Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas and Vice City and all that stuff came out like GTA 3 and Vice City came out around the same time, the 2001, 2004 era. And so I don't know. Vice City is the newest out of that grouping, I think. You're telling me that games that are like 6 years apart and 3 of them getting the remaster treatment plus port cost this less money than it did to port one game that's only 13 years old, right? These other games they're around 20 years old when they were remastered, right? Remastered and
yeah, I mean Grand Theft Auto 3 was on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, like 2001 era.
And I think like also Vice City was on PlayStation 2 if I remember. And San Andreas is the newest one. That would be the newest version of all 3 of these games, but
okay.
Still they're old.
They're old, yeah. They're like 20 years old. They're around that time frame of being. They're not 10 years old. They're 20. They were 19 to 23 years old or something when they remastered and re-released. So you're telling me that it was more expensive to port a 10-year-old game than it was to do something in the 20s range. I find that hard to believe. You did 3 of them, but I'm missing something. I'm not a developer. Like I said, not a developer, not anything like that. But I think it's cash grab. Like I said, I really think Rockstar needs your money. They're going broke developing that multi-billion-dollar game that they're going to bank on running for the next 20 years.
Right. The last game they'll ever make, Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 6, or like you said, Grand Theft Auto Online 2 will be their continuous running game that will never end. And it's just continuous cash grab because Grand Theft Auto 5 has been going on for 10 years now. It's survived something like that. It's survived multi-console generations, and they keep relaunching it on new consoles and making more money and more money. So we'll be on Xbox 360, 3000 Series X and PlayStation 79. And it'll still be GTA Online and GTA 6, It's done revisioned itself through 20 consoles.
Yeah.
That's the Rockstar model. I mean, it works for them. As much as I'm making a joke about it, it works for them. GTA Online makes them so much money a year. So, they're just going to milk it.
Yeah, they are. And I'm going to say, Rockstar, if you're not going to do anything but Grand Theft Auto and just sit on your other properties, then give Max Payne back to Remedy and let them make a new Max Payne game. And then some of your other properties, give them to other people if you're not going to do anything with it. But especially Max Payne, just give Max Payne back to Remedy. Even though Max Payne 3 was a great game, but still, let's give it back to Remedy. After they're done with Alan Wake, they can make Max Payne 4 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, the article that I read basically says that GTA has pretty much GTA 5 has pretty much earned them with GTA Online like $8 billion. So why?
I mean, why create other games? I mean, they don't really need to, right? Yeah. I mean, look at Valve, right? Steam is doing wonders for them. I mean, the last game they created was Half-Life Alyx, and that was after how many years of not creating anything? So, they don't, we got Half-Life Alyx, and then when's the next game? We don't know. Could be 10 more years down the line, and then Valve decides they're going to put something else out. They just get a wild hair up their ass and decide, hey, let's create it. Let's make a game. You want to do that? Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, it's like Gabe needs a new yacht. So,
right.
The money we make off of Steam isn't quite ready to purchase him a new yacht. So let's put out a new game, you know. I mean, they make enough money off of Steam, so
right, and they do a great job. I mean, Half-Life Alex, you know, was great for them. But people want to see more, and Valve's like, there's no need to. You know, we'll just keep Steam going.
Yeah, they're too busy with the hardware stuff. You know, they came out with the Steam Deck, and they're happy with that.
And that's doing great for them as well. So.
Yeah. And now, you know, and obviously the Index has been out. I'm surprised they're not in line to announce like Index 2 or something, you know, right now. But the Index is still like selling a lot. I was on there not too long ago looking, and the pieces of the Index were sold out like you couldn't get it. I don't know if they're still manufacturing it or not. Valve's hardware always worries me because I bought like the old Steam Deck back in the day, and they swiftly discontinued that like not too long after I bought my Steam Deck and, you know, my Steam Stream Deck and the controller. And now, you know, I mean, more power to them, whatever. They got players they'll do that. And then obviously game developers are willing to give up their 30% chunk to put games on their storefront because they know that that's the de facto epitome place to be if you want your games to be front and center where gamers are at, because that is my go-to game library and go-to looking for new games, because I want to keep all my games on one library. I mean, I'll be honest, I've even paid more for a game on Steam because it was on Steam and it was on discount or sale on another platform, because I'm like, do I really want it over there? You know, or I'll intentionally wait for a Steam sale from those guys. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Rockstar is just $8 billion from 8 point some odd $billion from one game that's now, well, it will be, did it come out in 2014? Is that when GTA 5 came out? I'm trying to have to look that up. I thought it was like 2014 or 2015 time frame. When is GTA 5 release?
2013.
2013. Okay, so 2013. So it's 10 years old this year.
Yeah. In September, so it's almost 10.
It's almost 10, not quite 10. Yeah. Birthday's coming up. It's made $8 billion. I mean,
right. And I don't blame Rockstar. I mean, that's all they need to do, right? They need to release Grand Theft Auto 6 with Grand Theft Auto Online 2 or something to that effect, and then they can coast another 10 to 20 years just on that. And they don't really need to release a new Max Payne or a new Midnight Club or make something new or anything like that. They don't need to. Just like Valve doesn't need to either, right? I mean, there's companies like that are just sitting pretty that they don't really need to bring anything else out. They don't need to. They just need to keep what they have going, keep creating new things for it, and keep the upkeep on the servers and various things like that in line, and they can just coast until the cows come home, right? So
yeah.
But if you're going to be a company like that, like Rockstar or something, like, you're sitting on other properties, like give them to someone else then if you're going to do that. That's my only thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And they won't, though. They'll sit on those IPs until they have a bad year or they have a bad stint. They're like, we need to make some extra money. Let's roll out one of our IPs. I mean, Half-Life Alyx only came out on VR, right? It never did. Yeah. And it sold like crazy. I'm pretty sure they made a pretty penny off that. And I'm like, I really want to play it, but I don't have a VR headset. I mean, people even developed and pushed to get that thing to work on the Quest, you know, and that should tell you how much people want to play that. And I want to play it, but I don't have a VR headset capable. I don't have a VR headset at all, but you know, I don't know how many people have an Index or something that's capable of playing that game, but it got played and it got bought. And then was it the Dark Mesa, the remake of that?
Black Mesa.
Black Mesa, sorry.
That was like a different developer that made that.
It was like a mod or something, wasn't it?
I think it started, it's like a remake of the first Half-Life is pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't even know if Rockstar, I mean, I own the game, but I don't even know. I haven't even played it yet. I need to.
It has to be, right? Because I think you can get it on Steam.
Yeah, you can get it on Steam. But I don't want to say it wasn't even published and developed by I know it wasn't developed by them. I don't even think it was published by Valve.
Right. So I mean, Half-Life Alyx, you can, you know, there's some like no VR mods out there, but I really want to play it in the way that Valve intended it, because Valve makes some dang good games and I just want to play it. But you know, that's them. And I have played I can't think of a Rockstar game that I just really loathe. Now, Red Dead Redemption 2 wasn't my favorite, but I played a good chunk of it, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I
mean,
beat the campaign on it.
I did not beat the campaign because I got a little bit bored with it.
It gets worse.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I like what I play of Rockstars. They make good games. I beat GTA 5's story mode, you know, the single player story mode. I beat that. I beat the original Red Dead Redemption. I loved that. And I played like their other stuff like Bully and LA Noire and all that and Max Payne and all that stuff. And I love those games. I cannot remember, you know, about the least favorite game of mine is their racing, the Midnight Club games. But that's just because I'm not a racing fan. I know Nick probably loved those games and stuff like the Midnight Clubs and stuff like that. I mean, Nick likes racing games more than I do. But I don't know. You know, it is what it is and that stuff. But they make good stuff is what I'm trying to say. They just have slowed way the hell down since the fame of GTA and Red Dead Redemption. I don't know how good Red Dead Redemption Online is doing, but you know, Red Dead Online that's still pretty popular too, I guess.
Well, the last thing I read about it is it wasn't doing as well as, I think it's still online and everything, but I don't think it was doing as well as like Grand Theft Auto was doing for them.
Right. Well, yeah, obviously, or they need rolling in another $1 billion, right?
Right.
This game only made us $4 billion. I
don't know about that.
I doubt it's probably
we might have to shelf that one. I don't know about that. And this other one.
Yeah. Yeah, they're bad. It's about as bad as Square Enix these days, right? Final Fantasy 16 didn't make us enough money, you know. Right. Critically acclaimed game. A lot of people love it, but it wasn't as good as we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Well, you set your expectations too high, and that's what happens.
You have a higher self-worth than everybody else in the world does, you know.
Right.
But you know, it is what it is at that point. Red Dead Redemption being re-released for $50 is a smack in the face to gamers with no additional thing but porting it. Re-release it on PlayStation, because I think it is PlayStation 5, right? The latest. I thought it's supposed to be current gen. So PS5 and
PS5,
Switch.
yeah,
PS5 and Switch for $50 is a smack in the face. Yeah, I don't care. I'm sorry, but it's a smack in the face to gamers. But
especially if you're not going to do anything with it. Like if you did something with it, then I think most gamers would be okay with it. It means $50 is still a little pricey, depending on what you've done to it. But the fact that you're not going to do anything to it besides just pop it out on the newer consoles, then it's kind of like, come on.
Yeah, if they remade it, if they put a Red Dead Redemption remake in place, like completely remade it, yeah, of course, $50, right? If they remastered it, I may have a hard time with that, but maybe not. I mean, it's a 10-year-old game, so I think it's eligible for at least a remaster, preferably a remake. But as long as it's a good remaster, like polished graphics, bring textures and all that stuff up to current gen and everything, cool. $50, re-release on everything, but you're just porting it. At that point, it's $20 at best, in my opinion. But those people who can't play it on the current gen console, they got no option. If you want to play it on your PS5 or your Switch, you're paying $50 for it. Or you could just say, screw it, and I will get it on my Xbox.
Right. And the original, I don't think, is on PC. So
it's not, no.
Yeah.
It's not.
And this might make them port it to PC. I'm surprised they're not doing that. Like, they're going to put it on the Switch and the PS5. Why not the PC as well?
I don't know.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is on PC.
Yeah. It is, yeah. I don't know why one's not out there, but they're not ready for that market yet. That's next year's re-release, Nick. You're getting ahead of yourself here. You're getting ahead of Rockstar.
Sorry, Rockstar. I didn't mean to. I'll slow down.
They got to let the controversy calm down of this PlayStation and Switch debacle.
Right. Yeah. Let it calm down. Let it coast out. Then they'll release it on PC for the same thing. $50 just to port. Got to keep themselves in the news. That's what they need to do.
Bad news is good news.
That's right.
Good publicity and bad publicity is all good. All that publicity is good.
Put your name in the spotlight, right?
Yep. Keeps their name in people's mouths.
Mm-hmm. All right. You got anything else you want to say about this? All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Let us know down below in the comments. What do you think? Are you going to pick up the $50 Red Dead Redemption port coming out on the Switch or on your PS5? Or do you have an Xbox where you're just playing it now, or just picking it up for cheap on there and playing it? Or do you not care? Right? Let us know. Or are you waiting for it to hopefully come to PC at some point and you can play it over there? Let us know down in the comments below what you think. But other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. Do us a favor. You made it to the end, so you might as well hit that subscription button. That helps us out a lot. And make sure you hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. And we'll see you next time.